public transport.
How do you explain it?
It's a combined system of, we have trams, buses, ecological buses that they work with hydrogen, gas or electricity. Then we have very good metro and trains that connect with secondary cities.
Okay, okay.
In Spain we have the best train system, I think, like of the world. Like the high-speed train, we have like so many lines all over the country, and I don't know.
Expensive?
It's very the train is very expensive.
Okay.
But you can do the same.
In the city.
No, it's very cheap. Like
Okay.
the metro is very cheap.
Okay.
Well, compared with other global, like other like world cities like London, Paris, New York, it's not expensive at all.
Okay.
It's like 1.6 euros each way, but you can switch lines between, I think it's like 1.5 hours.
Okay. Okay.
So it's not compared. Only turning on the car is more expensive than this.
Okay. Okay. So, in a sense, when you compare the streets in Barcelona and in Addis, how do you explain the traffic management system and the traffic jam, the traffic?
I think that's a very complex question, but I think the traffic is a result of the city planning.
Okay.
If the city is well planned, there is no traffic jams.
Okay.
If the city is dense and it doesn't encourage to use cars, people don't use cars and they walk, and then there is no traffic jams. So if you look at the cities that work like this, like New York, the center of Paris, the center of London, Hong Kong, Singapore, they are moving towards that.
Towards what?
Towards
No car city?
no car city, yes.
Okay, okay, okay.
No car city, shared mobility.
Okay, okay.
Because at the end of the day, it's when you have a city with a lot of infrastructure, like it's happening in Addis, it's very expensive to maintain.
Yeah.
When you act, it's easier to control and to take care of that.
Okay, okay, okay.
But without losing, you can compact, but you don't need to lose. Actually, you should use that compact to have like more qualities of spaces for people, shared spaces.
Yeah. What are these shared spaces, public spaces? Are they prepared by the government? They are municipal properties?
Yes.
They are municipal
Yes.
properties, and the government leaves the spaces for the public.
By law.
By law.
By law. It's like when you do a master plan, in most of the cases, 30% of the surface needs to be for public green spaces.
This is a regulation.
Yes, minimum. Like that's like I mean, it changes by city, by neighborhood, by this, but as a general standard, it's something like this. And then the government, they will develop that with taxes, money. With taxes, but they will develop that. They will put
Make some gardens. Yeah.
They will put a public competition for the design, and they will hire a good.
architects, yeah.
Normally, they hire the best architects to do these kind of things. And yes.
Yeah. It's very interesting. Tell me about the rest of your projects in Addis shortly, and maybe that would come to the end of our conversation. Nice professional conversation.
The other project I'm doing here in Ethiopia is a maternity hospital in Waldia, in the Amara region, that is developed by a partnership between a Spanish NGO and the Amara Health regional government. And this hospital, I think it has also from the programming point of view, like I said before in the shopping mall, that there is an interpretation of the programming, the use of the building. I think here there was a good interpretation of dividing the hospital and the budget into two parts. One is the hospital, and another one is like a small village for mothers that they can live there before they give birth. because a lot of them, they come from very rural areas, and
They have to stay there.
and it's not that they don't have beds in the hospital. It's just like they don't feel comfortable. It's a sociological thing. Like they don't feel like at. And so basically, we are building next to a hospital like a small village that they can feel like at home.
Okay.
And also they can socialize. They have a common public space, like a small covered plaza. They can sit down. They can talk. They can even exchange like doubts they have about this difficult process or like this moment of their life. You know.
Yeah.
So that is, I think that is like one of the key points of the project is this decision to make that. In terms of architecture, also I think the architecture speaks about these two parts of the project. There is the hospital that is very functional. It's like 3 volumes with a corridor that they are separated to bring light inside the corridor. And then there is the part of the mother's home that is, it looks like a village of tukuls, but built with modern materials and in a contemporary way. So that is the two parts of the design. And this will be completing very soon. I think in like 1.5 months it will be finished.
Okay, already built.
Yes.
Okay. And what about the villa in Toto?
This project, I think that's very special. Like, and I feel in a very privileged position, but at the same time with a lot of like weight on my head.
On my shoulder, okay.
Yes, because it's like touching the start of Addis. You know, it's like this is I'm restoring one of the first houses done in Addis before Addis was the capital and it was in Toto. These houses were there for the ministers of the Emperor Melenik, and that's like it's challenging, but I think we have achieved a design that combines this idea of bringing this new life to a new use to this
building.
Yeah, to this building. And because of the requirements of the project, we are building a house next to it that has kind of like dialogue between a modern, contemporary house with an intention of like having like international standards spaces, but at the same time it has a lot of the that kind of like Ethiopian culture that the other house has. Yeah. And other features that we are integrating into all the materials, they are all like local. Like we're using like limestone, bamboo, which is like as you know, you have the best bamboo of the world in Ethiopia, and so we'll be using. Most of the house has a lot of like finishing with wood, like from floors to panelings on the facade. So I think that even though it has a very contemporary shape, that also brings the local flavor to the architecture.
Okay, very interesting, Javier. Do you have anything you want to convey for young architects on how to translate the local architectural and cultural materials into the new modes of architecture? If you have anything, last message, in a sort of sharing your experiences, I want you to look into their eyes and tell
okay.
them.
I think it's very important to look at the architecture without architects, the architecture that has been done by trial error, by centuries of knowledge, because I think we can study a lot, we can research a lot, but that intuition and that knowledge built with layers is there. It is there. And we should take advantage of this to make something new. And of course, at the same time, we live in a global world. We have opportunities with the technology, with the internet. We can see what is going on in other places. So I think young architects and professionals in Ethiopia, they should open their eyes and see what's happening in other places of the world, especially the ones that have a similar climate, a similar situation of growth, and maybe not the ones that are most famous, but maybe the ones that they have like a similar situation of what you want to achieve. And I think between these two experiences and a bit of like hard work, you can get very good results into architecture in the next future.
And that message that you conveyed yesterday about your grandpa was very interesting for me, and I would like you to repeat it.
Well, you know, it's sometimes people tell me, like, you are an architect, why you talk about a farmer from the countryside in Spain? My grandfather, he was a farmer, but you know what? He was an artisan. He was, I think, he transferred me his passion for nature, but also his passion for work. He used to tell me, if you do something, it doesn't matter what you do, but do it with love.
Yeah.
Do it with love. There is a difference, and I think that's the difference that marks between someone just like a worker and an artist.
Yeah.
And he was an artist of the countryside.
Yeah.
He was treating the trees like babies. And on that, I used to spend with him a lot of time when I was a kid. And yesterday I used that sentence that I think it's very important, and it can apply to architecture, to any profession that you need to create something. And this idea of like stop, look, think, and then if you are sure, you can do.
Okay.
Because that is most effective and the most sustainable way of proceeding, and especially in architecture.
It was a very nice day.
Thank you very much.
I liked it, I don't know. Yeah, but it was very good.
Yes?
Thank you.
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Thank you.